Welcome back, I'm Nick. In our last episode, we contrast the speculative risk of the US AI boom with the tragic growth of China's NEV market. Today, we are moving from speculative risk to system risk. In the fall of 2025, the world watched as the US government shut down again. The market reaction was immediate and chaotic. The S&P 500 fell 3% and the tech-heavy Nasdaq dropped 4.4% before rebounding on the mere news that a deal might be reached. The VIX, the market's fear index, spiked to 60, far above its long-term average of 20. This is what I call the policy risk premium, where an investment value is held hostage by political gridlock. This wasn't just a Wall Street problem. The congressional budget official estimated the 6-week shutdown would directly reduce Q4 2025 GDP growth by 1.5 percentage points. Worse, it shattered consumer confidence, which plunged to a 3-year low, a staggering 30% drop from the previous year. And perhaps most crucially, the shutdown delayed the release of official economic data, effectively blinding the Federal Reserve, which was trying to make interest rate decisions. This is the crucial bug in the capital-oriented system. Capital cannot be allocated efficiently when the system's core is unstable and fails to even produce the data it turns on. This is a capital-oriented choice. Now, let's look at the other side of the world. As someone who was lived and worked in China, I watched the contrast unfold in real time. While Washington was gridlocked, Beijing was executing a year-long policy blitz designed to do one thing: boost the market confidence. Throughout 2025, Chinese policymakers initiated a coordinated top-down effort to stabilize the economy. High-level Politburo meeting and the National People's Congress explicitly reaffirmed commitments to boost the domestic demand and stabilize the stock and real estate market. The State Council launched the 2025 Action Plan for Stabilizing Foreign Investment and heavily promoted the Invest in China brand to reassure global capital. And the CSRC and the PBOC introduced the new monetary policy tools specifically to support the capital market and get the new line national articles to stabilize the market and build world-class investment banks. This is the core argument. The policy-oriented growth model isn't just about 5-year plans. It's about providing a predictable and supportive framework. China's 2025 market rally, with the China Next index of 51% in the first 3 quarters, was expectedly driven by these supportive policies and government support for the real economy. While the US model forced the investor to guess at policy risk, the Chinese model provided policy clarity. In a volatile world, this clarity is the foundation for investment, and it allows us to use their next major policy as our primary investment tool. So, how do we find opportunities in this policy-oriented model? We use their playbook. That playbook is a 5th 5-year plan. Also, in Chinese, is 15-5. This plan, which runs from 2026 to 2030, was just finalized as a pivotal fourth plenum meeting in October 2025. It is a crucial roadmap for achieving China's 2035 modernization goal. As we discussed in our strategy memo, we are framing this plan as a tool. It's not a right law, it's a compass. It shows us exactly where the government will allocate resources, talent, and capital for the next 5 years. You don't need to read the entire 500-page document. As an investor, you only need to understand its two core pillars, which create a strategic flywheel. So, the pillar 1 is the new quality productive forces. This is the supply engine. It's about sci-tech self-reliance and industrial modernization. The pillar 2 is expanding domestic demand. This is the demand market. It's about building a robust domestic market to create a self-sustaining economy. This isn't just about quantity anymore. The fifth FYP is about quantitative change. Pillar creates high-tech goods and Pillar 2 creates a high-value market to consume them. It's a closed-loop system designed for resilience. So, new quality productive forces, or NQPF, is the most important new phrase in China. It is the official strategy to upgrade China's entire economy. It defines advanced productivity freed from the traditional economic growth mode. It features high-tech, high-efficiency, and high-quality. In simple terms, it is a deep transformation of industries by integrating technology like AI and digitization directly into manufacturing. In episode 1, we talked about AI help. NQPF is about AI application. A key example is DeepSeek. DeepSeek is gaining global attention for its powerful models and is iterating at an incredible pace. They released the V3.1 in August and September 2025 and rolled out V3.2 Expert by the end of September 2025. This is the sci-tech self-reliance and breakthrough in AI that the fifth 5-year plan demands. This is productive AI, not speculative AI. It's the brain being built for this new productive economy. If DeepSeek is brain, Xiaomi is building the body. They are the perfect example of NQPI in the real world. Look at their new human and car and home smart ecosystem. This is not just a phone company making a car. It's an ecosystem that integrates the AI, also the brain with advanced manufacturing. Yup, the body, like their new highly automated EV factory and consumer electricians. We don't have to guess. Xiaomi is speculative. Stated its goal is to promote the creation of new quality produce forces through smart AI carbon management. They are literally following the fifth 5-year plan playbook. An engine NQPF is useless without fuel. The fuel for China's new economy is Pillar 2, expanding domestic demand. This isn't a new idea, but the fifth 5-year plan makes it a strategic base point to build a robust domestic market. The goal is to reduce reliance on exports and create a self-sufficient cycle. This is already the main driver of growth. From 2013 to 2024, domestic demand contributed an average of 93.1% of China's economic growth. The fifth FYP is set to accelerate this, focusing heavily on household consumption. How do we know this is working? We just look at the data from the recent Double 11. Yeah, the Singles Day shopping festival, a key barometer for consumer demand and what are consumers buying on Alibaba's Tmall platform. Sales of consumer electronic products, including AR glasses and robots, have surged. Tmall reported their sales of smart glasses jumped 25-fold year-on-year. This is the most important slide of the video. This is the policy-oriented flywheels in action and is the antidote to the curricular fallacy of the US AI boom. Is a real economy loop. First, policy. The fifth FYP. The government stimulus boosts supply, NQPF, and demand domestic demand. Tech. DeepSeek provides the AI brain. Product Xiaomi integrates the AI into a human and car and home ecosystem. Platform Alibaba sells and sells AI glasses and robots too. The market domestic demand, a rising middle class whose in the US model, capital funds AI, which buys from capital. In this model, policy funds supply and demand, creating a real self-sustaining consumer economy. So, let's summarize the two models we've seen today. On one hand, the capital-oriented model, which is increasingly vulnerable to policy risk. We saw this with the US shutdown, the VRX spike, and the market volatility. On the other hand, the policy-oriented model, which provides policy clarity. We see this with China's 2025 policy release and the strategic real economy flywheel of the fifth five-year plan. The US government shutdown showed us that policy risk can destabilize an entire market. In contrast, China's fifth five-year offers the policy clarity. It is not a mastery, it is a roadmap. In a world of capital-oriented chaos, policy-oriented clarify is the new alpha. The plan tells you the world is blowing toward new quality productive forces and expanding domestic demand. Your job as an investor is to find the companies like DeepSeek, Xiaomi, and Alibaba that help their sales up. This is the kind of objective data-driven analysis we provide. If you want to understand the real machines of the Chinese market, subscribe to the channel. Now, I want to hear from you using the tool. Which part of the fifth five-year plan do you think is the biggest opportunity? Do you think the NQPF engine like Xiaomi and DeepSeek or domestic demand market like Alibaba has more upside? Let me know in the comments. As always, this is for educations, not financial advice. Do your own research. I'm Nick, and I will see you in the next episode.